What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is your host, Ryan Carthage, for this Inner Circle Live session. Greatly appreciate everybody joining me this morning. As always, right? Turn off all distractions, prepare your minds and your bodies to engage. And for the courtesy of everybody on the call this morning, please ensure that your mic stays muted if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment. All right. So, quick disclaimer: trading does have risk, right? We're not CTAs, which stands for Commodity Trading Advisors. So the information that we give is for educational purposes only. Educational purposes only. We can teach you about the technicals. We can teach you about the fundamentals. We can teach you about everything all the way down to the trades that we like to take. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to place that trade, to push that button. So you always want to ensure that you are trading responsibly, never risking any money that you cannot afford to lose. All right. So I hope everybody's day is off to a good start. Those that are in other countries, I hope your afternoon is going well. While I switch over to my charts, we'll just run through a few things. If you guys can put into the chat any pairs that you want me to take a look at, and I will I'll take a look at those pairs. All right, we'll focus on the pairs that you guys have questions about, and we'll dig through those. Okay. That's silver. More Aussie Swiss. GU. All right. If you guys have any others, don't hesitate to drop those in. All right. And we got my awesome partner, Mr. Benny Allen, joining us this morning. Benny, what's up, bro?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing well, man. How about yourself?
Doing great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. Before we dig into the charts real quick, let's take a look at Forex Factory. We had some pound news come in this morning, right? CPI, multiple reports bunched into this 2 a.m. time frame, but the pound got a little boost, right? Positive for the pound. Okay.
Brian,
Desi, what's up?
I'm good. We can't see your chat.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. What about now?
There you go.
All right. Cool deal.
Yes.
Apologies. I apologize. All right. So over in Forex Factory, right? The pound had some positive news come in this morning. Okay. The core CPI numbers. Shauna, good morning. So positive news for the pound. Some mixed news on the euro. And then we have the Canadian CPI numbers later on this morning at 8:30. Okay. Then tonight we have some news on the New Zealand, the Kiwi, right? And the Aussie, right? Unemployment rates. So later on tonight, those are some things to watch, as those could have impacts on those currencies. Okay. Just keep an eye, be aware. All right. So we'll hop over here and want to take a look at silver. So we'll take a look at that real quick. I don't know why it does that. All right, there we go. So we broke this down the other day. So if we hop back up from a daily perspective, right? Gonna watch this move to the downside. This is the active AB boundary here. We got this pullback to just shy of a 618 level on the daily time frame, right? And we dropped our trend lines on there to track that move and look for a potential reversal. We see prices trying to break through this trend line. We got a break here, right? In the last couple of hours. Okay. This is our active trend line on the 1 hour time frame. Okay. Active fib there. We got a 628 retracement. Price is trying to give us a slight pullback here. So if we drop a sub fib here. Try to see, right? AB boundary here on the sub fib. We got a 23.6 retracement, and price is struggling at this daily resistance level. Okay. So looks like we did get a break, but it's struggling, right? So that move may push down deeper. This is going to be an area to watch. If you get a break above, we could see a deeper move there. But yeah, if we drew an inner trend line, the inner trend line would have come here. So that would have been your original break, your original change in direction off the double bottom. But price got to this outer trend line and is kind of struggling. So that'll be something to watch. You could get a reversal out of that and push back down. So just be aware of that. Okay. Did you take this move off the inner trend line break, Desi?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, just watch it, right? See if you get a break of this resistance level here. But
Yeah.
it's a good move off of that.
Yeah, it's just struggling.
Struggling, yeah. Definitely struggling. So that's silver. That's silver. Casey, good morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good.
Awesome,
Hi, everybody.
Morning. Good morning.
Oops. Hold on one second. Guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. So that is silver. We had Aussie Swiss franc. All right, so we've been watching this one. We'll pop back to the daily time frame, right? Here we go. So we've been tracking this move. All right, long term, right? We've been tracking this move to the downside here. Our up fib gave us a 61.8 retracement. We removed these fibs just to clean things up a little bit, right? I'm sorry, a 786 retracement, right? A deep push down, then we got this reaction here, okay? And now price is trying to pull back. Okay? So I'll remove these again, right? So this is the move to the downside that we've been tracking. Strong bullish move to the upside, right? And you can see it here a little bit, but on the 1 hour time frame, you can see the potential crown pattern that's could be forming, which we'll take a look at once we get there. But we got a break of that inner trend line, price pushed up. Now we're getting this pullback. So this is the AB boundary on the sub fib, right? Took out this A, right? So we started fib from the bottom like that. That's the AB boundary. And now we're getting this pullback here. Okay. Now we're getting that pullback there. So we got that break. So we will take these out, clean this up a little. Well, we'll keep that one, right? If we get a break of that to the upside, right, we could see that move there. But right now we're pulling back. Okay. So if we go to the 1 hour time frame, right, this is that crown pattern that we mapped out last week, right, as potential opportunity. And we see, right, price is making that move. This is that daily fib copied down to the 1 hour. So we could track the full move to the downside. Okay. But if you remove this, right, and you just looked at I'll remove this pattern for now, and you just looked at your fibs on the 1 hour time frame, right? Start those from the bottom of this move here. You see, right? Shallow retracement, 118 to 127 zone, and now we're getting that move back to the downside. So we're at a TP2 level right now, right? We're just shy of it. Right, so this has been a beautiful move to the downside. If you took it, excuse me, and we're looking for price potentially to continue down, right, to complete that right tip of this crown. Okay, so that's where we are in that. right at TP2, looking for price to continue to the downside for at least a little while longer, right? Come back down to this level of support here. That would give us that right tip. Okay. So I'll put that pattern back on there. Right. Took out that previous high like that. Now we're looking for price to come back. Right. Match that left tip. Like so. Then we'll get that continuation to the upside. Then we'll get the continuation to the upside like that. Okay, so I'll clean this up a little bit, take these trend lines out since they were already broken. Like so, right? And there we are, right? That's playing out beautifully to the downside. So if you look at potential pullbacks that could come, right, as a short-term move on this, right? We call these type 2 moves, right? So if you drop your fibs from the top to the bottom, just to track these moves, right? We got a sub fib AB boundary, shallow retracement, price is pushing down to this 118 and 127 level. Okay. Benny looked at this one last night. So we could get potential reversal here, right? And give us a pullback to come back and retest this area of consolidation that it broke out of. Okay. So it could get this move back to the upside temporarily before we continue back to the downside. Okay, so something to watch there. We didn't get that full move last night, shallow retracement. So now we're pushing down to this 118, 127 level. Okay, so watch that one, take a look at it. If it meets your rules, right? Plan the trade and trade the plan, right? So that's the Aussie Swiss. Long term, we're looking for price to come down a little further, down around this 66436 area. But in the short term, we could get a reversal, right, before we get a continuation. Okay. Any questions on this one? Right. Remember, we got Aussie news tonight, which could impact us a little bit, right? So we could get, if we get this pullback throughout the day today, right, and the Aussie news turns out negative, right, that could give that reversal back to the downside to push it to these levels, right? It's positive for the Aussie, then we could see this potentially fail and then just. Okay. Any questions on this one?
No.
All right. Folks that have just popped in, if you have any pairs you want me to take a look at, drop those in the chat for me, and I'll take a look at them. Next one we had was GU. Actually, hold on one second. I've been short on this pair. I just want to take a look at where I am. Okay. All right, so, right, we push, look at it, pushing right down to that zone, okay? So definitely want to watch, right? If you trade the zones, right, you could already have your limit order placed there, okay? Or if you want to wait on the confirmations, you can do that as well. Wait for that 118 and 127 zone to be hit, right? And then wait for your swing low and trend line break, okay? Wait for the swing low and trend line break. That's TP1, TP2, and TP3, those green lines. Okay. Cool deal. And we had the pound dollar. All right. So real quick, right? And watching this move to the downside, we haven't gotten to this daily 38.2 level yet on this retracement. But we were watching this move, right? And it's been playing out pretty well so far, right? Price pushed down. We got our down trend line here. Came up, rejected off the weekly resistance, and then we got a strong rejection off of this down trend line, right? Price is trying to break through it. We got tons of wicks in this daily resistance area and off that trend line. Yesterday with the news, right, it wasn't positive for the dollar, but we got a rejection off of the trend line and a push down to kind of like pushing down towards the bottom of this wedge here, right? Pushing down here. Okay. Excuse me. So from a daily perspective, it's kind of just been sideways for a little bit, moving into this little triangle. So we want to see, right, do we get a breakout to the top, or do we get a breakout to the bottom and continue pushing down towards this D extension level, right, off of this active fib here, right? We got that 50% retracement. Do we get that push down, or do we get temporary move back to the upside before the continuation? Okay, so if we take all of this down to our 1 hour time frame, right? Benny talked about this move yesterday, right? So we map our fibs out. We got fibs taken out back and forth as we move through this consolidation. Okay, so let's do this. We'll take all of these out so it doesn't look like complete gibberish. Casey's probably screaming at me, screaming at the screen. But Benny caught out this move yesterday, right? We got AB boundary that formed there off of the news, right? Strong push to the upside, still couldn't really close strong above that daily resistance level. And then we got that push down. This is that wick and rejection off of that trend line that we saw on the daily time frame. So this was the AB boundary, right? On the sub-fib move here, right? And it got to TP1, right? But didn't get to that 38.2 level. Now price is pulling back. Okay. So we could be looking at either, right? Price could continue down to this 118, 127 zone and then give us that reversal. Or, right, we could just get a pullback, test this resistance, and then push higher. Okay. So keep an eye on this one if you're not in it, right? Keep an eye and watch. If this level holds here, right, this previous resistance level, right, we could see that reversal and a continuation to the upside on that, right, in favor of the pound. Okay. Also remember, right, this is a sub-fib move, right? We got stochastic in the sell zone, so we could see some selling pressure continue, right? So we could see this come down like so.
Hey, Ryan.
Benny, what's up, man?
Hey, man. Yeah, I got out of the 382. Oh, this is because of where that stochastic was.
Yeah.
Knowing that
Yeah.
I was in a B2C move.
Absolutely.
But what's the DXY look like today?
That's on the 1 hour.
That's on the one. Okay.
Moving sideways, still in this monthly zone there.
Monthly zone.
Stochastic
What
in
is
the
that?
buy zone.
Yeah, that's the 1 hour. So it did push down overnight, right?
Yep, it
Yeah.
did. Yep,
It did push down overnight. Okay.
On the
Yeah.
4, stochastic pushing into the sell zone.
Yeah. So maybe it retested a bearish candle off the 4.
Yep.
And potentially back down.
Potentially back down. Yep.
Yeah, for weakness. So yeah, I'm still thinking dollar weakness. We'll see.
Yep, we shall see. But I agree with you. Yep, daily stochastic in the sell zone also.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking more downside pressure on the dollar, especially after yesterday.
Yep. All right, so we could see this little pullback here and then continuation to the downside.
Yeah.
$4 pairs.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay. So, hey, no problem. Thank you. So if we go back here, right, and what that looks like. So pull back, right, on the DXY, right, could push this down, right? And then, right, we'll see. Do we get price to push down to this 118, 127 zone, right? And this uptrend line, right? This is that uptrend line that we had on the daily time frame, right? So this price push down and reject off of that trend line, okay? And then do we get that reversal from there? Okay. So that'll be one to watch. That'll be one to watch today, right? If it comes down here and we get that, and we get these levels to hold, that could be a buying opportunity there. Okay. Any questions on GU? No? Okay. Do we got any other pairs that you guys want me to take a look at? I'll run through a few of ones that I got in mind. Euro Aussie. Right. And the Euro Aussie. Casey did a breakdown of this one yesterday in the Facebook group, but this is where we are, right? So from a daily perspective, right, if we drop our fib from the top on this, right, bang, AB boundary, shallow retracement, price just lingered all the way down, didn't quite get to that D extension level, and then started making its way back to the upside. So long term, we would like price to come back up to daily 30 at 2 level, okay? And so far, it's been trying to make its way, right? But we have some Aussie weakness, right? It's kind of getting in the way of that a little bit, okay? Okay. But the Aussie weakness has gotten in the way of that a little bit. Speaking of the Aussie weakness, if we go over to trading economics, iron ore slumps to 10-month low, right? The Aussie commodity currency, right? Influenced heavily by iron ore prices, right? And iron ore hits a 10-month low, right? So that explains the weakness in the Aussie. Okay, so it'd be interesting to see what happens, right, in this area. So we got it's a little sideways, so it's not actually head and shoulders, right? That low isn't right at the neckline, so it's a little lopsided. But we got price to push down to this 50% level, right? Got to push up, couldn't break through that weekly resistance, okay? Came back down, couldn't break through the weekly support, right? So now we're playing in this range, okay? Playing in this range. So it'll be interesting to see how price responds, okay? So let's go to the 1 hour time frame, right? And what we did, we mapped the fibs from the top of this move to the bottom, okay? And we got price to take out this fib here, right? We got a trend line break, move back to the upside, okay? In favor of the euro. So now trend line was broken, so we'll take that out. Because price took out that A, we'll run the fibs from the bottom to the top, right? And this is the active fib on this 1 hour time frame, right? Shallow retracement. Looks like it just barely got to that 30 at 2 level, right? Stochastic is trying to push up into the sell zone, right? So we're getting some sideways movement here at this 118 to 127 zone. So this could be potential for an 80-20 play. Okay. Whoops. And then we could get a more aggressive trend line. Generally, we'd take it like that. But since we're moving sideways with price, we'll take that trend line like that. Okay. Take the trend line like that. So if you get pushed down, break of that trend line, right, we could see price give us a little pullback. right? If we see, right, some a reversal signal there, right? If not, right, look for price to come up to the extension and give us a new fib, right? So we'll see, right? But this move to the upside has been because the Aussie's been weak, right? So we'll see if that changes today. We'll see if that changes today, right? Again, also understand that we got news tonight. So that could also impact how this pair moves. We could get sideways movement through the day today. Okay. So that'll be something to watch. If we get that move to the downside, that could be a decent retracement. Or the news could push it up to the extension, new AB boundary, and then we can play it from there. Okay. Any questions on the Euro Aussie? Nope. Cool deal. Take a look at the Euro CAD. All right, remember we got CAD news today, so just be aware, play with caution. However, right, been tracking this move here to the downside, trying to make its way back to this daily 38.2 level here. Okay. It's been moving sideways, right, in this zone, right? We got to break out of this lower consolidation zone. Now we have this wider consolidation that we've been playing in and rejecting off of this downtrend line. Okay, so what I would love to see is for price to break this trend line, give a pullback and retest, and continue to the upside. Personally, I would like to see that, right? But tracking the fibs, right, from the bottom to the top on this is the active sub fib on the daily time frame. Okay, see we got a 618 retracement, and price is trying to make its way up, right? Trying to make its way up that the extension level, okay, which is right in line with that daily 38.2 retracement zone. Okay, so that's what we would love to see, right? Push up, break, and continuation. We'll see how that news, the CAD news, impacts us today. All right. If we drop down to the 1, we see, right, through all of the noise, all the consolidation, right, these are the fibs to the upside, right? Price took out this last fib here, so we ran them from the bottom to the top, right, off of this low, the daily support. And let's take this out for a second. We got this 786 retracement, and price is trying to make its way up. Okay. Trying to make its way up. The slow motion, but it's trying to make its way there. Okay. If we just map sub fibs on this move to the upside, oops. Like that, right? AB boundary, 618 retracement, and price is there. So it's trying to make its way to the upside. So if you're not already in this, I just sit back and allow price to do its thing. Okay. After the Canadian dollar news, right, we could get more of an indication. We could get this price up, hit that D extension level, get a new sub fib AB boundary, potentially break this this trend line, right, and that could give us more of a move to the upside. Okay. If it's positive for the Canadian dollar, we could see price push back down, right? So wait till after the news, right? See what reactions we get and see where price goes. But it's in between right now, so I wouldn't recommend getting in this trade at the moment. Wait and see, right? See what happens after the news if we get a break of that trend line. If we get a break of that trend line, it's a long-term trend line, so it'd be good confirmation for potential continuation to the upside. Okay. Any questions on the Euro CAD?
Ryan, good morning.
Good morning.
Quick question. I guess I was just happening to looking at the trailing fibs that were coming back to the the upside.
Mhm.
and going back from the active fib, maybe like 2 fibs back. I was looking at that, just following this. Okay, typically, you get a new fib when the D level extension is broken, or if the A is taken out. Correct?
So you get a new fib once the correlating D extension is achieved. The swing high after that D extension is achieved. Correct.
Okay. So looking at the one that you have the arrow on right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I see a new fib comes after that one, even though the D extension had been hit at that point.
No, so it's the corresponding D extension. So remember, right? Each of these levels has a corresponding extension level that it
Right.
would achieve, right? So
Yep.
here, right? So this is our A.
Yep.
This is our B. This is our
Mhm.
C, right? Which is
Yep.
right in line with a 8-6 retracement,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the 8-6
Oh, okay.
retracement would
Okay.
come to, right, that 118 extension level.
Got it. Okay. Okay. I kept looking at I kept assuming it was the red all the way at the top. Okay. No, it depends on how deep the retracement goes. Never mind. Okay. I
Exactly.
got it.
Yep,
Gotcha.
exactly. And remember, right? Just a simple way to remember it, right? The red zones to the red zones,
Mm-hmm.
blue
Green
to
to
blue, green to
and green to
green.
green. Yep. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
I'm
So
clear.
then that. Cool. Good question. Good question. All right.
Hey Ryan, I have a question.
What's happening, Ebony?
Oh, nothing much. So when you say like the trend line, would you say that the longest the trend line is, if it breaks it, it's more confirmation that it has more potential to continue up?
Yeah. Yeah, because think about it, right? These trend lines are diagonal versions of support and resistance, right? And we know like the higher the time frame, right, the stronger that resistance level is and the harder it is typically for price to break it, right? So think your trend lines in a similar way.
I mean,
Right.
I know that once like a trend line is broken, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, it's going up. But I'm saying like, because I heard you when you said that it's been a pretty long trend line.
Yeah, right.
So
coming back to the daily time frame, right? It comes back to this highest point here back in 2020. Right.
Okay.
Right. That's where this outer trend line started. And then this inner trend line was December 2020. Right. And we've gotten multiple rejections off of this trend line. Right. So think of it like a higher time frame support or resistance level. Right. It'd be really, really difficult for price to break it. And when it does, that is more of a signal that price could be moving past that level.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think it was kind of like, hold up, wait.
Yep.
Okay, got
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. On some stochastic is in the sell zone. So that'll be something to watch too, right? Pushing down. So be interesting to see how the news impacts this later on this morning. Okay. That's where we are. That's where we are on that. All right. We'll take a look at Euro Swiss franc, and then we'll take a look at the New Zealand yen, since we're in the Euros. Euro Swiss franc. Okay. From a higher time frame perspective, right? Been watching this move to the downside here, right? We got AB boundary, very little retracement. Price pushed down, gave us a double bottom here, rejection off of the monthly support, and pushed up back to the trend line. Struggle to get through this trend line. Okay, struggle to get through the trend line. Got a new level of resistance here. Okay, struggle to get through the trend line, and now we're seeing push back down, right? This move to the upside gave us very little retracement as well, right? So price was exhausted. We got stochastic trying to push down into the buy zone. Okay. On the lower time frame, you see this gave us a double top here, right? And then this push back down.
Like, I can't come up my direction.
Okay. All right. So we'll mark this level here, support as well. Just a little range that it's been playing in. Okay. like that. All right. So that's the daily perspective. Let's drop down to the 1. Right. See, let me get some overlays on that. There we go. So these are those fibs to the upside from that low, right? Move to the top. AB boundary, very little retracement, 118 to 127 zone, daily resistance. Okay. We got this double top here. Now price is making its way to the downside. Okay. Got a break of the trend line right here. What do I do here? Take that out. There we go. Right. So we got a break of the trend line to the downside off that double top. Boom. Coming down to this daily support. So we could potentially see, right, a reversal on this before we get continuation down to TP1. So if we drop sub fibs from the top on this, just to see, AB boundary, shallow retracement, 118, 127, just before this daily support, right? So we could see price push down, hit this level. Pink. And then give us a deeper retracement. Okay. So this will be one to watch. Stochastic pushing down into the buy zone. Okay. So this will be one to watch from a sub fib perspective, right? Smaller wave. Whoops. Smaller wave, right? But we saw that the dollar might might give a retracement, right? Before continuing to the downside. So we could see this push down, that give us a little pullback there, and then a continuation to the downside. Okay. Something like that. So this would be one to watch if you want to play the counter trend move on this. TP1. Two and 3. Okay. So that'd be something to watch. It's the Euro Swiss franc. Any questions there? No. All right. Cool deal. Cool deal. Watch out for that one. All right. New Zealand. New Zealand. Let's take a look at them. Go to the yen first. All right, so talked about this one yesterday morning, and we said, look, we could get the price to push down. Whoops, that's the Canadian dollar. Daily time frame, right? We've been tracking this. This looks messy. 1 second, so that you can see what I'm talking about. There we go, right? So we've been tracking this to the downside, right? Tracking this to the downside. So, okay, we got price to push down, then we got this strong bullish move to the upside, right? Took out all of this back here, okay? So if we drop fibs on the daily time frame from the top to the bottom, AB boundary, right? We got a 6-to-1-8 retracement, price pushed down, couldn't break through, then gave us another pullback. Right, so we got up to an 8-6 retracement on this. Okay, so now what is price trying to do? Well, we got very little retracement on this move to the upside, so now we're getting this push back to the down. Okay, so if we go down to the 1 hour time frame, like so. Okay, and we look at these fibs. Didn't come through. So we look at the fibs on this, right? Dropping from the top to the bottom. That's that active fib on the 1 hour time frame. That's that move back to the upside, 8-6 retracement. Then we got price to stall. Okay, so you guys see where we are from my, we'll say an active fib or capital fib perspective on the 1 hour time frame to the downside. Now, because we got the strong bullish move, take that out. The strong bullish move, we want to see what's happening in this space, right? So if we take our fibs from the bottom to the top on this, like so. You see new AB boundary formed, shallow retracement, double bottom, push up to the 118 to 127 zone, gave us 3 touches to the top, right? And we said if price breaks this trend line, look for it to fall, right? Wait for that trend line break. We got pushed, came up, gave us that triple top look that Ken brought up to us yesterday, right? 3 touches at the top on that, and then fell off a cliff, right? Fell off a cliff. So sub fib AB boundary off of this high, right? That's what this is here. Remove that. It's playing out as we said. So we got shallow retracement. Price is pushing down to the 118 to 127 zone. It's right at a TP1 level, right? On this on the active fib here. Okay, so we hit TP1 off of this move. Now we could get a pullback, right? We broke that trend line, broke out of this consolidation. So we could potentially see a pullback on this to retest these levels, right? Potentially just here, but to retest these levels here. And then we could see a continuation to the downside. But we got that TP1, okay? Played out beautifully after that news, right? Push up for the news, then it came right back down. Momentum is really, really strong to the downside. Okay. So look for a potential pullback on this one, right? Smaller move, smaller wave, right? More looking downward on this. So play that one accordingly there, right? Get to TP1, you might look at taking profit on that, right? Just above that daily resistance level, if you choose to play this move. If you're looking for price to continue to the downside, right? You can just wait on a higher price, right? Wait for price to pull back, drop your trend line, swing high, trend line break, right? 618, 50, 618 level. Then we could take a look. Then we could see price push back to the downside from there. Okay. So there'd be an opportunity to add to the trade if you're in this move to the downside, right? Or if you're not in it and you get that high price, opportunity to get into the trade and take it down to lower TP levels. Okay. Any questions on this one?
No, sir.
No? All right. So, give me 1 second, everybody. Right, got a request for gold. We'll take a look at that in 1 second. Let's take a look at New Zealand CAD. So New Zealand Canadian dollar. Fibs to the downside, right? And got this nice move back to the upside. I know it looks a little difficult to read, but that's where we are. Fibs to the upside here, AB boundary, right? Potential for a pullback there. Okay, so if we go down to the 1 hour time frame, like so, let's go back. See if we can get this cleaned up a little bit. Okay. These are our fibs to the upside. Okay. The AB boundary here, no retracement at all. Price pushed up to this 118, 127 zone. We got a high. Price is trying to make its way back down, but we've been moving sideways. Okay. We'll take this trend line out. What we can do is shift to the outermost point, like so, right? Just been sideways movement, right, within this AB boundary. So, right, if we get a nice bearish break of this trend line here, that news coming up in about 45 minutes, right? Break to the downside, potential pullback, continuation, right? We could see that if the news is positive for the Canadian dollar. Okay, if it's positive for the Canadian dollar, we can see that. So that'll be something to watch, right? I dropped this sub fib AB boundary just to track this, but It's not necessary at the moment. And that's where we are. That's where we are. So we want a nice bearish break and potentially a pullback, right? So we'll see how price responds to the news, and then we'll play it accordingly from there. Okay. This is right in that 80-20 zone. Be a nice move to the downside if we get it. Right. 160 pips of TP1. Okay. So that's one that we can keep an eye on as well, right? Wait for your confirmations, right? Wait after the dust to settle in the news. Then we can look to play it accordingly from there. All right. Any questions on this one? No. All right. And since we're here, we took a couple of the other Swiss franc pairs. We'll take a look at the New Zealand Swiss franc. Then we'll take a look at gold. And we'll wrap things up. So on this New Zealand Swiss franc, right? We talked about this one yesterday as well. We wanted a break of the trend line also, right? Just from a 1 hour perspective, again, tracking that move to the upside, right? Similar to the other New Zealand pairs. And we said we want to break of that trend line. Okay, we got that break. Now this is a sub-fib AB boundary, right? 23.6 retracement. Price is struggling to break that B boundary level. Okay, struggling to break the B boundary level. So we could see push down, right? That'll get us to TP1, right in that 118, 127 zone. And then we could see a pullback. Okay, stochastic pushing down into the buy zone, right? So from a sub-fib perspective, this could be an opportunity if this is one you want to play. Okay. All right, AB boundary. If you get price to push down here, then we could look for that reversal. Okay, and retest this weekly resistance, and then potential for that continuation back to the downside. Okay, but we did get that trend line break yesterday that we were looking for. Okay. Cool beans. Let's see. Ebony said, just want to say, like everyone says, once you get it, you got it. But it's the discipline piece of sticking to your trade plan that's a whole other beast. Yes, 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 it is. Yes, it is. Right. We as people, it's just our nature, right? We make things more complicated for ourselves, right? Just how our brain works. And it really takes a focused effort, focused intention, right? To challenge yourself to really, really create those new neuronic connections, those neural pathways. And it's hard, right? It's not easy. It's not easy to create new habits. It's not easy to create a new level of discipline, right? Because our brains are designed to be efficient. So it creates those habits, solidifies them, and then goes on to something else. So now you have to go back and continue to remind yourself, like, I got to do this. 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 It's a challenge. It's a challenge. But I'm telling you, and you guys are starting to see it. Those have been with us a while, right? You're starting to see. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it does. It does, right? It's like exercising, right? Exercising isn't easy. Building muscle isn't easy. Losing weight isn't easy. But once you start rolling and you really, really get to a point where the habit is built, it becomes a little easier, right? However, when you get off track, then you got to get back on, right? So you break that habit, you get off track. Now you got to try to figure out how to get back on track. And it's, again, rebuilding those habits, right? It's it's easy to get off track and hard to get back on. because you have to rebuild everything all over again. But yeah, you know, you got to do it, right? And that's where remembering why you do what you do, right? Not about the money, but the true purpose, mission, and cause that you have for your life, for your community. That's what that comes into play, right? Because in those moments that it hurts, right? That you struggle, that you make mistakes, that you fall off the bike, the question is going to pop up in your head of, do I really want to continue doing this? Right? Do I really want to continue doing this? And you got to remember why you got on the bike in the first place, right? Why did you get on this path? Is it worth it for you to continue going? And the answer is yes, right? The only way you do not get this, right, is if you stop. It's the only way you don't get it. But if you continue challenging yourself, right? Continue challenging yourself. You'll see the progress. You'll see the growth. And it's worth it, man. I'm telling you. It's worth it. It's worth it. So, yeah. Thanks for that thought, Ebony. It's well worth it, D. Absolutely. Absolutely well worth it. But showing up every day, continue to immerse yourself. We will get there. We will get there, right? As a team, as a group, we will get there. We'll help each other get there. So that's New Zealand Swiss franc. Okay. New Zealand Swiss franc. Potential opportunity as price pushes down. Let's see if we get that reversal. Now to gold. All right. So we'll do a full markup on this one too in the morning. All right. So drop out to the monthly time frame. We'll clear all this out. All right. So we got our extreme high right there. We got our extreme low down here. Okay. Now zoom in, get some support and resistance on. Okay. Like so. Monthly support level there. All right, change that there. Monthly resistance here. There we go. Okay, got another resistance level up here as well at our extreme high. Okay, and we'll mark out this level here also, just for good measure. Okay. Now let's go down to our weekly time frame. All right, so we'll take this level up here. Weekly resistance. We'll just combine both of those since they're close. Take this level here as well. And that monthly support will stay there. Okay. Yep, that'll stay there. Let's go down to the daily time frame. All right, so got a few levels here. Because they're close, whoops, because they're close, I'm just gonna combine them like that. Okay, there's one zone. Daily level there. Okay, so that's our support and resistance on this. Okay, now a couple ways to take a look at this, right? Long term been moving to the upside. We've been getting this movement here. Okay, so if we run our fib from the low, right? That's our active AB boundary on the daily time frame. The capital fib, shallow retracement, 118 level, and then push back down, right? 50% retracement. Now price has been playing in this range. monthly resistance to monthly support. Okay, so we see where we are from a capital fib perspective, 50% retracement, right? So if we run our fib from the top to the bottom, bang, AB boundary, 618 retracement, double bottom here, right? Price trying to figure out what it's going to do. So we got consolidation, right in the zone here, right in that zone there. Okay, so then back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, stochastic in the buy zone currently, right? So we could potentially see price move up, and in this consolidation, right? If price pushes up, we could potentially have a harmonic pattern that forms. We'll have to check the ratios, but see double bottom, right? If price comes back up, we could potentially see that. So it's the daily perspective, right? So if we go down to the 1 hour, zoom out, hold on, daily, we'll do this, close that out, right? Now we'll drop down to the 1 hour time frame, right? Let's move to the upside. So we got, it's interesting here. So we got price push down. We got to move back to the upside, took out the low, came back to that same level, right? Now price is pushing down, gave us back to that support level, right? Didn't come all the way back to the support level for head and shoulders, but yeah, so we could see a move back to the upside, okay, potentially. So let's clear all this out. Clear all this out. And what I want to do from this high, we'll map our fib just to see where they fall. Yep, so the price took them out there. And then this high took out that high. So we'll map our fib from the bottom to the top on this. AB boundary, got a 38.2, came up to the 118, then gave us a deeper retracement here, right? Price stalled, now it's trying to push higher. Stochastic also in the buy zone. So we could be looking at a move to the upside on this, right? 786 retracement. So we could see price come back up here, give a double top. Give a double top here. Okay. If you look at the smaller waves, right? Sub fibs on this is that AB boundary, shallow retracement right now. Stochastic in the buy zone. So you could see price push up higher. Looks like it, so it broke out of this. Let's do this. Broke out of this consolidation zone, right? Now it's coming back to retest it. Okay. Coming back to retest it. So you could see price push up here. Yep. We could see that shallow retracement holding price push up to this level. Okay. So it's just retesting that consolidation now. So I'll be looking long on gold, right? But if you didn't get in this to the downside here, I would wait for potentially a new fib to form. Or you could get an 80-20 play out of it if price comes up and stalls up here, right? If price comes up and stalls there, then you could get an 80-20 play on the retracement and then a potential continuation. But if you're looking long on that, I would want a lower price before I got in for a buy or a new fib to form. So those are my thoughts on gold. Those are my thoughts on gold. But the extension level is right in line with that 118, 127 zone, right? So if you get a deeper retracement, you could then see that move to the upside, unless the market gets really, really bullish and just pushes it all the way through off that shallow retracement. Yeah. Any questions? Cool deal. Benny, Casey, you guys got any thoughts for us? Anything you guys want to bring to the table before we close out this morning?
I don't. I don't have anything right now, but just keep working hard.
Cool deal. Thank you.
Yep. Only thing I would just remind everybody is just the power of trading small. There's a group that I follow, and there was a guy in there yesterday, and he was asking for help, and he was like in 17% drawdown on this account, and not 17% drawdown because he's got 3-4 trades in. He was in 17% drawdown on one trade.
Wow.
And when you look at the numbers, and he was asking, for advice, and everybody was, they were saying all types of crazy stuff as they often do in these chats, but nobody had told him you need to scale down. He was down.
Yeah.
He had a $3,800 account. $3,800 was his account balance. He was down, I think, $671 or something on this trade, but he was in the trade at 8 mini lots, right? He was trading at $8 a pip, and then he had 4 pending orders, all of them no less than $5 a pip on a $3,800 account. And it happens all the time. All the time. It's you guys are you're gonna learn the technicals. A lot of you got it just like that. You follow along already. Like, let's just be honest, all you gotta do is watch the videos and show up to the live sessions. But that risk management piece and that psychology piece is what's gonna make or break you in this game. You have to learn to scale down your trades. And then even if you say, well, he could have used a tighter stop loss. Okay, so then it's just death by 1,000 pricks. Because even if you would have took that hit at $8, that's still too big of a hit on this account because of the lot size he was trading at. So no matter which way you look at it, there's no way around it. It was just bad. It was just bad risk management. Period. And I'll give him a lot of kudos because he reached out like, hey, I need some help.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about this group. You can get help with it within the inner circle. But guys, I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with trading in micros if your account calls for that. Like the way money compounds is powerful. I promise, if you're trading at micros and you start to have some success with these swings, you'll think twice about that dime that you see laying on the ground the next time you see it when you're walking into the store or whatnot. You pick it up. Like we have got to get the risk management down. Because I know a lot of times when I talk to different people, like, that's why you're not having success, because the psychological game that it plays on you when you're leveraged too high is forcing you to get out of trades that a day later, right? Less than a day later, you look back at it and it's going in your direction, but psychologically, because you're sweating bullets, you took yourself out of the trade. You can always scale and adjust your trade management later, increase the size later. But do it when you on that current trade. Do it when that trade is up, 1%, 0.5%. Add to the trade then, scale into the trade then. But we do not control this market. We don't. We may map out the technicals, we follow the fundamentals, but the time, right? Sometimes we forget, like on the chart, right? You got your X and your Y axis, right? It's time and price. Time and price, right? We definitely don't control the time in which these things are going to happen, right? We like to say it's stochastic. Hey, from overbought to oversold, oversold to overbought between 7 to 11 candles. That stochastic can stay overbought for 3 days if it wants to and hold. The sooner we understand that we do not have control over this market and that we have to have proper risk management, you will win over the long term. You will be successful. But if you do not get that down, this is not going to work for you. Turning your trading account into a night at the casino is not good. There's no point in you being here if you're gonna do that. So though, I mean, that is the foundation of it all. You can have the best strategy in the world. If your risk management is horrible, is in the toilet, forget about it. Because you are going to lose trades. You're gonna take some L's. You're gonna take some L's. That's just how life goes. That's how trading goes. It's no different than life. There's only ever been one undefeated team in the NFL. Regular season playoffs and Super Bowl, one. Couple got close. So you're gonna take some L's. Understand that that's just part of the game. But either you wanna start to work so that you could develop a nice smooth equity curve, higher highs and higher lows, just like we see on the technical charts. That's what you want your account to look like, or it's gonna be a jagged mess. You're gonna have extreme highs and extreme lows, which mentally that is a nightmare. And your trade account is gonna reflect that. So that's really all I have today to add, is that use proper risk management. And showing up to these live sessions and things like that will be all for nothing. So that's all. That's it for me.
Good people. That's it. That's it.
Drop the mic. Drop the mic.
So we will catch you guys tonight at 9 p.m. for Benny's Asian session. Think about that today. Think about that today. All right. We greatly appreciate you guys showing up. Continue showing up for yourself. Continue showing up for yourself. We will catch you guys tonight. You guys have an awesome, 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 awesome day.
Bye.
Peace.
All right, coach.
See you, Sean.
Thank you.